Okay, component 2, mock 3, 2, mock. This is paper 3. How confusing is that? Okay, so what have we got here? Question 2. In Africa, Lake, I can't even say this, Nabugabob is separated from Lake Victoria. So what do I mean by that? Well, okay, so I've got Lake whatever it's called. Lake not pronounceable, Lake Victoria, and in between I've got land. Okay. There are 5 species of cichlid fish. Do I know about fish? They're going to live in the lake and they're not going to be able to cross over the land. Of the genus Haplochromis in Lake Nabugabob, each descended from a different species in the main lake, Lake Victoria. So we've got 5 species in there, and each one's descended from a different species. We've got different species in Lake Victoria. Okay, name the phylum and class. So here we go. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So kingdom's Animalia. Phylum, they're in the phylum with backbones. So that is chordates or chordata. And class, so these are fish. And I think you could have one of 2 things really. You could have piskies. I think if you'd recognised they were fish, potentially they would have let you have that. If you'd realised they were. And I'm not sure that this is, but I think it was such a good answer. So I can't even spell it. Osteichthyes. That looks about right. You put Osteichthyes, I think, you know, the examiner will be just so blinking impressed. Less so if you put the cartilaginous fish, obviously. So, explain. Explain means give a reason why the fish from each lake can be described as a different species. So this is the kind of, you know, a species can interbreed to produce fertile offspring. So if they can't do that, they're different species. It's that kind of reverse argument, really. So they are different species. As they cannot interbreed. Do you like my best handwriting? To form, it'll all disintegrate towards the end of the paper. Fertile offspring. Excellent. So that's the kind of, you know, that's a bit of AO1, isn't it? That's something that we have learnt. This is something you should perhaps know, and then this is, you know, that's just a standard definition. Suggest. Ooh, that's a nice trigger word, isn't it? Suggest how analysis of DNA or proteins might be used to supply additional evidence that the Lake N fish have descended from ancestors in Lake Victoria. So here they wanted to give a technique, really, that you could put in. So, you know, a DNA fingerprint, perhaps. That's where you're sort of looking at base sequences or base sequencing or amino acid sequence. Could be carried out. The lake So we're saying that these ones have descended from these ones. So if fish 1, type 1, has given, you know, another species, they should be fairly close. That's what they're saying. Oh, crikey. Wish I've not written that down now. The Lake Niagara fish would have similar, not really the same, or a close match to the Lake Victoria ones. Descended from. Okay, phew. Explain. Oh, more reasons. So these explain questions, these are sort of suggest is more AO3, and explain is kind of AO2, is an AO2 trigger word. How the splitting of the fish population into the two lakes has led to the formation of separate species. So we're going to be talking here about their physical, so they're separated by land, so they're physically separated. So populations are physically separated I'm going to call that allopatric speciation. So, the two populations cannot interbreed. And that's certainly going to set them off on the road, isn't it? The two populations may have different mutations, so while they're separated, and when we need to explain the significance of that, and each lake may have, this is just natural selection, isn't it? Have different environmental conditions or habitats, and therefore different selection pressures. And I know you're watching this and you're thinking, oh my goodness, how much is she going to write? Do you know what? Write everything, because you don't know what's on the mark scheme. The gene pools become different and fish become different in where can I put this? Behaviour or appearance, I think. I like to go behaviour or appearance. Okay, so I think that's it, but I don't seem to have written very much for this. So I put different species because they can't interbreed to form fertile offspring, but I'm now thinking, well, what if that's only worth one mark? And this is the point of reading back, you know, you kind of look back and you think, okay, have I got enough there to get all the marks? I think I have here, I've written loads. And I've written here about this close match idea. I'm going to put, okay, they can't interbreed, they may, I'm going to give a reason for that. I'm going to give a sympatric reason because I've asked about allopatric here. Different behaviour. I'll put courtship actually. Courtship behaviour. Courtship behaviour or appearance. Okay. That I really think I have written everything that I know about speciation and species.